Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about Luthia, the Tinkerer, one of the probably the most anticipated character that people seem to love. So I'll give a quick breakdown and teach you how to play her. As you can see, there's cards on top of cards here. It's because Luthia actually picks her 6 powers to start the game. And if you bought, so she only has 10 powers, 3 levels, so 30 cards. But if you bought the Mega Pack, you get tons of extra cards for her, tons of extra powers. And I'll go over some of those because I think some of them are really, really cool and powers that we've never done before. So let's break her down. So like I said before, you go choose your 6 level 1 powers you want to start with, and put the corresponding level 2 and level 3 powers under those powers. To gain access to higher level powers, you need to level them up by spending Cobble. Talk about how we get Cobble in a moment. You'll be able to go in the rule book to see some of the keywords. She has a lot of keywords on her cards. Leveling up does not refresh your power, so if you level up a face down card, it doesn't unflip it. Discarding and removing a power from your player board causes all levels to be removed. So let's go over this roll card now. Cool. Always active. You gain 1 Cobble each time you activate an ability. So it doesn't matter, this is flipped, this is always active. You're immune to replacement effects. If you're forced to replace 2 or more powers at a time, deal yourself 2 damage. So if you had to replace, say, 4 powers, you would take 2 damage. If you had to replace 1 power, you would not take any damage. It's just, no matter what, if you replace 2 or more powers, you're going to take 2 damage. It's just a way to balance certain traps and events that punish you. During the player attack phase, you may level up your powers. So you can spend 7 Cobble to level up a power from 1 to 2, and 12 Cobble to level up a power from 2 to 3. It used to be 5 and 10, but we did change it in the final design. You can flip to gain 1 Cobble. So if you're about to spend morale, just flip it just to get the Cobble. And you can also remove a whole power from your player board. So you'll go down to 5 powers, but you would gain 7 Cobble. In the end game, that might be awesome just to get a couple of extra level 3 powers. So, okay, cool. I'll just show you her artwork. I think she has one of my favorite designs as well. So let's talk about a couple of these powers. So let's take a look at the crossbow. Crossbow deals 5 damage and has a reload 2 mechanic. Reload just means after you activate it, you set this power aside, and you need to pay 2 wild die to bring it back to your board, so it doesn't exhaust. So it takes 5 dice to do 5 damage. It's not very strong early, and you can do 2 damage down here with the reload 1 effect. So cool. And then down for level 2, it goes up to 8 damage. So once you get 7 Cobble, you can level it up, and you can see the cost stays the same. That's 3 damage stronger, and here is 2 damage stronger. And then here you have 14 damage and 5 damage. So it gets pretty strong. And that's the benefit. So you need 19 total Cobble to get to a level 3, though. Let's take a look. There's one I really like called the Gadget Belt. I think this is kind of a necessary power to pick if you're trying to ramp up. Because at the bottom, you can gain 1 Cobble. This ability can only be activated once in combat, though. So there are certain boss decks, like the Summoner, that's a whole combat and never-ending combat. So this would be kind of bad. No, this would be very bad, not kind of bad. But if you get it to level 3, you can gain 3 Cobble. So in decks where you're fighting a lot of combats, this is so good, and you might be able to get a couple level 3s by the end of the game. So make sure you bring the belt along. And plus the top has some, you can spend Cobble to do additional stuff, which is awesome. Let's talk about, this is one of the special ones that was included in the Mega Pack. This is called the Battle Randomizer. You roll a die and then you get an effect, or you can choose one down here. It has a reload 1 effect. And like the level 3, you can see it gets pretty strong. You roll 3 dice, so you get 3 effects. Yeah, you can get some crazy, you can pop off here, target player unflips their roll. That's really good. So if you have a lot of players in the game and you activate this, like Gaz, and you can unflip her roll, that's awesome, getting her more combo counters. And then like Grenade here, this deals 8 damage, but you deal all players 2 damage. The final level still costs 4 dice, but it deals 14 damage, but deals all players 1 damage. So it progressively gets stronger. So that's her character in a nutshell. I'll show you a couple of her. You can see how the backs are labeled, so you can easily find the powers you need. And show you some of like the designs that kind of something unique with. Like, set a die in this ability, you cannot remove it. This power does not exhaust. If the power takes damage, remove this power and die from the game. Deal 1 damage to up to 3 enemies every round. You do not gain Cobble from this ability after the first activation. When you level this power up, the die remains on it. And then, so, you could do 9, if there's 3 enemies in a round, you could do 9 damage, but you can never activate this power again. It can never take damage, but that's really cool. And, like, the bottom, sets power next to an enemy, deal 3 damage each round, return this power to your player board after that enemy is defeated and exhaust it. So yeah, it just like leaves your player board or can never be flipped basically. So it's, yeah, we did some really cool designs, I think. I'll show you one more. This one's really cool, the orbs. Let's check out the Spyglass. You can look at the next 2 boss deck cards. You may reorder those cards as quick bosses. You cannot reorder cards in boss decks that play in order. So, yeah, just so you know. We put that like Valentina, Forgotten God, Dragon Lich, Avatar. And then you look at the next boss deck card, so you can kind of set your stuff up for the bottom ability and do some cool effects. And if you get to the Temporal Glass, you can look at the next 5 boss deck cards, reorder those, and then you can combo it off with the bottom later to do like 12 damage or 9, prevent 4 damage. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do and with this card, and it kind of helps you navigate a boss deck. So yeah, she has spore effects, she has burn effects, you can work with other characters. She can lower reloads because the Cyberpunk expansion is going to have characters that have reload mechanics, and she also has her own reload mechanics with a couple powers, and this lowers it, as you can see. So yeah, overall, I think she is one of the coolest characters in Divine Wrath, and people are really going to love it. For people who like very controlled and structured and just trying to do things, like because you get to pick your powers, so you can kind of, there's no randomness in the powers you pick. The only randomness you have is, can you activate your powers and get to Cobble to level up your powers. So kind of picking your powers is a unique mechanic and choosing what you level up. And she will be good. She'll be very good at solo because you can kind of pick your powers once you know a boss deck and pick the ones that you think will be best for it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Luthia the Tinkerer. And if you have any questions, please comment below. And that's all. Take care. Bye.